anyone in late modernity that has had the reach to teach that Tupac Shakur has had. Now, when I think about Pac, okay, and all the things, okay, that he wrote, all the performances that he had, what I really wanted to try to understand is what is it about Pac's message that has been so transcendent? Because it's not hip-hop. If it was hip-hop, then Pac would be joining a whole bunch of other cats that are still on these young people's MP3 players and phones, but they're not. Right? A lot of these cats have faded out, but Pac hasn't. Pac is still in young people's ears. Truth be told, many of y'all came in this joint today bumping Pac. Okay? Many of y'all have Pac on your... Okay? 10 years ago, I started doing some work with the Maori community in New Zealand. Those of you not familiar with the indigenous politic of the globe, the Maori are the indigenous people of New Zealand. And I flew out there, and look, if you put a pin on my block, I stay 3416 Davis Street. Okay, you put a pin on my block, and then you take a pin and you put it in Otara, which is the community just outside of Auckland, where I was working with the Maoris. Okay? It is literally the other side of the world. Right? So I'm not being hyperbolic here when I say I was on the other side of the world. And my first meeting is with a group of 30 high school Maori youth. Okay, so I walk in the room, they're all sitting in this circle, and this one young brother hops up and he runs up to me and he says, "You're from Oakland?" I was like, "Yeah." He says, "Did you know Tupac?" I'm like, "Nah, bro, not everybody in town knows each other like that." But it was so deep to me, right, that here I am literally across the globe. And the first question out of a young person's mouth is about Tupac. I told you I'm an English teacher, okay, 2 decades in the game. And I can tell you with full confidence that I can take a crisp, brand new $100 bill, stick that bill inside of any Shakespearean text, leave that text anywhere in my classroom, and it is completely safe. But if I leave Pac's book of poetry out, and a lot of cats don't know that Pac wrote a book of poetry, okay? And this is actually the title of the book of poetry. It's also the title of probably his best-known poem in that book. If I leave this book of poetry out anywhere in my classroom, it is immediately snatched up by the very same kids that OUSD is convinced are not interested in literacy, okay? And what I have told principals, superintendents, and literally Arnie Duncan to their face, okay, is that it's not that young people aren't interested in literacy. It's that they're not interested in the literacy that we are giving them. Okay? Those are two very different problems, and how you frame the problem in your head drives the way in which you craft your response and solution to it. Okay? And so Pac, for me, right, is so telling, okay, about how I think about what are the problems that I have to grapple with, okay, to really support and develop the young people in my community. Okay? It is your Tupac. It is that kid that is the most likely to be able to speak to the other kids that are stuck in the concrete, to have a message that truly resonates in their heart, that makes them willing to open their head again. But the Tupacs are the ones we're the least likely to invest in because we think we're the messengers. We think we're the vessel. The hood will save the hood when we start investing in the hood. The governor, policy, the feds, they've never given a shit about my block. But you go on my block right now, and the D-boys, my cousin on the corner right now, okay, I see them, okay, as the change agents. If we can reconnect them in a real and viable way to see themselves in that way. Okay? Ultimately, okay, those are the classroom spaces, those are the school spaces that not only transform individual kids' lives, but change neighborhoods. And that's the gig that I think that we all signed up for. If I can be supportive in any way on your mission to do that kind of work, please do not hesitate to reach out. I will share any of this stuff that I share with you today or any other resources that we have access to, because this is not an East Oakland project. This is a global project for freedom and justice and autonomy for all young people. Thank you.